Bryce Ryness is currently terrorising maggots as Miss Trunchbull in Broadway's Matilda. Today we're at the Rio Times Square to catch up with the child hurling star. Bryce Ryness.
Hello.
I'm a bit terrified. I've been a little bit naughty. Are you going to put me in chokey?
Depends.
Yeah.
On what you ask me. I think the default answer is yes, but we'll just see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. I saw you in Matilda the other day. You are incredible, but you're very, very scary. I think you're probably the scariest person on Broadway. How does that feel? Because you've got all these little kids in the audience.
Oh, I love
frightened.
it. I love it. I love it. It's so, with a face like this, there's really only one way you can go, and that's terrifying. So I just love it. I love the challenge each night of bringing this character to impressionable little kids.
Maggots.
Yeah, to fundamentally change their lives and bring terror.
Terror.
I think that's
utter terror. How is it at the stage door? They don't recognize you.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
And I use that to my advantage sometimes. For instance, my wife and I have 3 little kids, and so they wake up very early. It doesn't matter if I've had a late show or whatever. And so sometimes I'll use it to my advantage and sneak out.
Have they seen you do Trunchbull, your kids?
Yeah.
How? Do they know? How old are they?
7, 5, almost 7, 5, and 2.
So almost
the 2-year-old hasn't.
But the 7-year-old must have known it was Daddy, presumably.
Yes, and the saving grace of that for her emotional scarring is that I've been acting since she's been alive. In fact, I was doing hair when she was born. When I put on the costume, when I put on the whole apparatus, it's where it falls in their mind is Daddy looking silly, not I don't know who you are anymore, and you're fundamentally creating a barrier between us.
Now we as an audience, we watch Matilda through Matilda's eyes.
Yeah.
She's 5.
The whole play, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a lot more to it than that. And I was reading that you sort of got into Trunchbull's backstory with Matthew Walker as the director.
I did.
And that's fascinating.
I thought it was fascinating.
So tell me about it, because it really was extraordinary.
So their whole take, and I think a lot of this can be attributed to Matthew, but I think also a lot of credit goes to Bertie, who spent some time really crafting a backstory that he could rely on night after night. What created a through line, a cohesive structure for that character was all of the story that Matilda tells, the fantastical story of the acrobat and the sister of the acrobat who kept the books, basically, that's all true. And that was Agatha's journey, the Trunchbull, is that she was in this family of beautiful, graceful, lithe acrobats who brought joy to millions. And here she was, this 6'2" rectangle that was totally unattractive. And so, to spite all the kids who had made fun of her when she was a youth,
so
kind of up to and including,
she was bullied basically as a child.
Exactly, and so to reestablish her dominance in her adult life, she then subjects kids. In her mind, it's a very benevolent thing. I'm going to teach these kids. Yes, I'm going to teach these kids the respect that no one else taught these kids when I was a young girl.
Now, the physical transformation is extraordinary. Talk to me a bit about that, because you're doing stuff to your teeth. Down to that level, aren't you?
Teeth. I love the teeth. So
she's got British teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's this bottle, looks like nail polish, and it's called nicotine. And I put it as you paint your nails, I paint my teeth every single performance. And it dries like nail polish.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come off with water, so it stays on your teeth. And then at the end of the night, with my fingernail, I have to.
What does your dentist think of that? Are you doing the damage to the enamel? They look great now. Don't worry.
Thank you. I guess no news is good news. I haven't seen a dentist in a while.
You won't be told off.
No.
But it's a very physical part as well.
Oh yeah.
I think people probably underestimate the amount that you're doing on that stage. You're not just hurling children. You're dancing almost.
Yeah. That's why they cast me. No, actually, no, that's not why they cast me. It is a very physical show, but I kind of thrive in that I was an athlete all growing up. I didn't get into theater until I was 25.
So it wasn't at school? You weren't involved in the theater because you were in California, weren't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Good work.
I know.
So I grew up playing baseball and water polo, which is an extraordinarily physical sport.
Yeah.
Soccer and running and stuff like that. So yeah, it wasn't until much later that I realized that I'm not quite the athlete that I thought I was.
So then how does that work? I mean, you've got a lot of Broadway credits now to your name. You made your debut in Legally Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
How do you flip so late in life, as it were? I mean, that's got to be an inspiration actually to a lot of people watching.
Well, it came through the avenue of singing. When I was in high school, I had I call it kind of grandly a career-ending injury in that I broke my thumb. I was a catcher and I broke my thumb playing baseball. And so I was out for the season. And so here I was like 15 years old and like, I don't know who I am. I've only done baseball. And my sisters, I'm the youngest of 4, and my 2 sisters were in the choir at the high school that I was going to, and they were like, you should try choir. Choir's fun. And so I started doing choir, and I had a very, kind of seminal moment of high school where the choir director was like, hey, you can do this if you want to. Yeah. You can do baseball, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't do baseball, but like there's something there. And if you want to explore that, I'm more than happy to go with you on that. And I took him at his word. Do you have any dream roles for Broadway? You've now got all these Broadway credits. Okay, so I get asked that question, and we're going to keep it all in the family. Yeah. For like a one-night concert, just because I know I'd blow my voice out, I'd love to play either Jesus or Judas in Superstar. Not for 8 shows a week, though. No. It's a tough sing. If I didn't He doesn't make it easy for singers, my dad. No, if I didn't have a wife and 3 beautiful children who I love being present with. Yeah. If I didn't have to be present for them, I'd do it 8 shows a week. But I'd be like in a monastery somewhere between shows, just being like... Not talking. But you on some levels have to do that right now. I mean, Trunchbull is a tough role. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of yelling, but I think, and I'd love to say out of a place of pride, like, because of my fantastic vocal technique, I think growing up playing sports and yelling on the ball field and yelling in the water polo pool. That's a tip for everybody watching. Yell and do sports. Yeah. Now, you also, you've done some TV. You were on Peter Pan Live. I was. Would you like to do another one of those live shows? Oh my God, please. Yeah? Please. What do you think they should do? Obviously, Hairspray is being done right now. Is it one that you'd love to be a part of? I think it would be interesting. And Neil, you can listen up. I think it would be fascinating, kind of like what we saw with Grease, and this is literally just like a lightning bolt moment, to do Oklahoma in Oklahoma. Well, there you go. And then as he's like walking through the cornfield, the corn is as high as an elephant's eye. It's not some like $55 prop that we've got in the back, the corn. It's like actual corn. It's not green screen, it's actual corn. Or when the barn is like, when you go into Jed's in a lonely room, that like dilapidated shack, like they find a real dilapidated shack. I think that'd be fascinating. Oklahoma Live, we're putting that down there right now. Yeah. Now to close it out, I always like to bring it back to the show. Okay. Why do you think Matilda speaks to people? I think it is the story of the underdog. And in the United States, we really like that. The core narrative that speaks to the most people is that there's this 5-year-old girl who is pretty special, and all the forces of authority are conspiring against her to put her in her place. And she has the wherewithal to be, by omission or commission, just like, I'm not gonna buy into that. And I think that's a fascinating story. It also gives a lot of people hope that you can change your story. And I think that's what people leave the theater with, that like, yeah, that was a great 2.5 hours that I just spent. And it was. Thank you very much, Bryce Ryness. You're welcome. Thank you.